Welcome to a very magnificent Manhattan, the most densely populated and geographically smallest of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Please subscribe to this channel so you get a notification when we post a new video daily. The borough is coextensive with New York County of the U.S. state of New York, the smallest county by land area in the contiguous United States. Located almost entirely on Manhattan Island near the southern tip of the state of New York, Manhattan constitutes the geographical and demographic center of the Northeast megalopolis and the urban core of the New York metropolitan area, the largest metropolitan area in the world by urban landmass. Manhattan serves as New York City's economic and administrative center and has been described as the cultural, financial, media, and entertainment capital of the world. The area of present-day Manhattan was originally part of Lenape territory. European settlement began with the establishment of a trading post founded by Dutch colonists in 1624 on Lower Manhattan Island. The post was named New Amsterdam in 1626. The territory and its surroundings came under English control in 1664 and were renamed New York after King Charles II of England granted the lands to his brother, the Duke of York. New York, based in present-day Manhattan, served as the capital of the United States from 1785 until 1790. The Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor greeted millions of arriving immigrants in the late 19th century and is a world symbol of the United States and its ideals. Manhattan became a borough during the consolidation of New York City in 1898, and houses New York City Hall, the seat of the city's government. The Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, part of the Stonewall National Monument, is considered the birthplace of the modern gay rights movement, cementing Manhattan's central role in LGBT culture. It was also the site of the World Trade Center, which was destroyed during the September 11 terrorist attacks. Situated on one of the world's largest natural harbors, the borough is mostly bounded by the Hudson, East, and Harlem rivers and includes several small adjacent islands, including Roosevelt, Euthant, and Randall's and Ward's Islands. It also includes the small neighborhood of Marble Hill now on the U.S. mainland. Manhattan Island is divided into 3 informally bounded components, each cutting across the borough's long axis: Lower, Midtown, and Upper Manhattan. Manhattan is one of the most densely populated locations in the world, with a 2020 census population of 1,694,250 living in a land area of 22.83 square miles, 59.13 square kilometers, or 72,918 residents per square mile, 28,154 residents/km2, and its residential property has the highest sale price per square foot in the United States. Chinatown incorporates the highest concentration of Chinese people in the Western Hemisphere. Anchored by Wall Street in the financial district of Lower Manhattan, New York City has been called both the most economically powerful city and the leading financial and fintech center of the world, and Manhattan is home to the world's 2 largest stock exchanges by total market capitalization, the New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. Many multinational media conglomerates are based in Manhattan, as are numerous colleges and universities, such as Columbia University and New York University. The headquarters of the United Nations is also located in the borough. Manhattan hosts 3 of the world's most visited tourist attractions in 2013: Times Square, Central Park, and Grand Central Terminal. Penn Station is the busiest transportation hub in the Western Hemisphere. The borough hosts many prominent bridges and tunnels, and skyscrapers including the Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, and One World Trade Center. It is also home to the NBA's New York Knicks and the NHL's New York Rangers. Manhattan was historically part of the Lenapoking territory inhabited by the Munsee, Lenape, and Wappinger tribes. There were several Lenape settlements in the area including Sappahannock, Nectank, and Kong that were interconnected by a series of trails. The primary trail on the island, which would later become Broadway, ran from what is now Inwood in the north to Battery Park in the south. There were various sites for fishing and planting established by the Lenape throughout Manhattan. The name Manhattan originated from the Lenape's language, Muncie, Mannahattan, where mana means gather, at means bow, and on is an abstract element used to form verb stems. The Lenape word has been translated as the place where we get bows, or place for gathering the wood to make bows. According to a Muncie tradition recorded by Albert Sekekind Anthony in the 19th century, the island was named so for a grove of hickory trees at its southern end that was considered ideal for the making of bows. In 1524, Florentine explorer Giovanni de Verrazzano, sailing in service of Francis I of France, became the first documented European to visit the area that would become New York City. Verrazzano entered the tidal strait now known as the Narrows and named the land around Upper New York Harbor New Angoulême, in reference to the family name of King Francis I. He sailed far enough into the harbor to sight the Hudson River, and he named the Bay of Santa Margarita, what is now Upper New York Bay, after Marguerite de Navarre, the elder sister of the king. Manhattan was first mapped during a 1609 voyage of Henry Hudson. Hudson came across Manhattan Island and the native people living there, and continued up the river that would later bear his name, the Hudson River. Manhattan was first recorded in writing as Mannahatta, in the logbook of Robert Jouett, an officer on the voyage. A permanent European presence in New Netherland began in 1624, with the founding of a Dutch fur trading settlement on Governor's Island. In 1625, construction was started on the citadel of Fort Amsterdam on Manhattan Island, later called New Amsterdam, in what is now Lower Manhattan. The establishment of Fort Amsterdam is recognized as the birth of New York City. In 1647, Peter Stuyvesant was appointed as the last Dutch Director General of the colony. New Amsterdam was formally incorporated as a city on February 2, 1653. In 1674, the English bought New Netherland, after Holland lost rentable sugar business in Brazil, and renamed it New York after the English Duke of York and Albany, the future King James II. The Dutch Republic recaptured the city in August 1673, renaming it New Orange. New Netherland was ultimately ceded to the English in November 1674 through the Treaty of Westminster. Manhattan was at the heart of the New York Campaign, a series of major battles in the early stages of the American Revolutionary War. The Continental Army was forced to abandon Manhattan after the Battle of Fort Washington on November 16, 1776. The city, greatly damaged by the Great Fire of New York during the campaign, became the British military and political center of operations in North America for the remainder of the war. British occupation lasted until November 25, 1783, when George Washington returned to Manhattan, as the last British forces left the city. From January 11, 1785, to the fall of 1788, New York City was the fifth of 5 capitals of the United States under the Articles of Confederation, with the Continental Congress meeting at New York City Hall, then at Frances Tavern. New York was the first capital under the newly enacted Constitution of the United States, from March 4, 1789, to August 12, 1790, at Federal Hall. Federal Hall was where the United States Supreme Court met for the first time, the United States Bill of Rights were drafted and ratified, and where the Northwest Ordinance was adopted, establishing measures for admission to the Union of New States. Please subscribe to this channel so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And thank you for watching this video. We the Comely Travel Team appreciate your attention. Tell us what you think about this video in the comments section. Have a nice day ahead.